Leo, welcome to your reading. So let's dive in and get your current energy. What's influencing you? And your past? And your strength? Your near future? What else do you need to know? What else is influencing this? Your hopes or fears? And your potential outcome? So this video is available on TikTok at Tarot with Michelle and on YouTube and Rumble, Tarot and Astrology with Michelle. And so Leo, I've got the Fool showing up here at the bottom of the deck. I love to see this showing up here. It's a leap of faith. It's this ready for a fresh new start. I do have the Nine of Wands showing up here in your current energy, but it's influenced by the Magician. So what I'm picking up here is you're a little bit closed off, could be connected to a wound with the Wounded Warrior showing up here, but I don't feel like it's really holding you back. I feel like you've done a lot of work around this wound already. And so now more and more, you're stepping onto this new path, focusing on what you want to build, create, grow. And so it feels like timing as to when you can start growing. Right now, I feel like you're focusing, because you're almost like a little bit in and out. Partly you're focusing on the wound and kind of working through everything there so that you are more free, more available to go after what you want and really take the leap of faith. And so I'm picking that context up. So it's like a blend of energies where part of this is healing so you can move forward. And then part of it is also focusing on what you want to build and grow. Not necessarily taking action in this direction, not yet, but really getting clarity, gaining insight. It's almost like a compare and contrast. You know you don't want to repeat whatever led to the wound. And so that's helping to inform what you want to grow and build. So I'm getting your energy kind of a little bit back and forth. In what you need to focus on, Seven of Pentacles. Now the Seven of Pentacles, it's investing in yourself in the future that you want to build. And so the work that you're already doing, it's keep doing all of that, because the Seven of Pentacles, it's not going to be quick. Nine of Wands is still showing up, so it may take a little bit of time for you to kind of break down your own barrier, really release the wound itself and the way that it's affecting you, blocking your progress. But the Seven of Pentacles feels like if you take the time now to work through the wound and you clear that up before you try to build anything, you're going to stand a better chance of success. What I started to say, and I stopped myself from saying it, was if you have a pattern of building right when you feel like the mood hits, you're ready, you're going to do it, even if you're not actually ready because of an existing wound. What's been happening there is like a compound over time of negative energy. And so you're not building from a place of stability. You're building from a place of imbalance with a wound. And so you're drawing in more wounded energy, which just amplifies the wound that you already have. And so it feels like this is a pattern that has been happening, like a pattern of impulsivity, acting in the moment when you feel like you're good enough. And so what the universe is saying here is really kind of slow it down a little bit. Take the time that you need to work through the wound so that you can devote all or almost all of your energy into building what you want. I have the Four of Pentacles showing up here in the past. Now the Four of Pentacles is focusing on you and your foundation. So it's coming through in the context of, if I took everything back to basics and I just focus on what I physically need, what does that mean from a building standpoint? What is it that I'm ready to grow from that perspective? And then with the Nine of Wands still showing up here, it's coming through in the context of, okay, when you take it all back to basics, now it helps you to identify more layers or more pieces of the wound that are actually blocking your progress. Because there's something here that you need to release to get back to basics that you're currently working on, but in the past, it became known to you that this is the work that was needed to be done. And so showing up here in your strength, I've got the High Priestess. So the High Priestess, I'm getting that inner knowing, trusting your intuition, acting from a place of emotional balance. Four of Cups showing up here in the near future. Nine of Wands, Four of Cups. I'm not surprised to see this. And so the Four of Cups is, I'm sitting here in my feelings. I'm kind of working through everything I need to work through. I'm not necessarily open at this moment, but it's because I'm trying to address something else first. And so emotionally closed off, I've got a barrier here, but there's a lot of internal work that's being done, even if nobody else is aware of it. And so when I look at how the universe is shaping the situation, I'm getting the Six of Cups with the Knight of Cups. And so the Six of Cups, it's a card of nostalgia, but it's coming through in the context of reconnecting with yourself. When you're able to reconnect with yourself, then you're able to go after what you want here. That's the work that you're currently doing. And so because I'm getting a lot of insight and a lot of visibility with the Four of Pentacles here in the past, I don't normally get that kind of information from the card. It feels like the universe showed you what you needed to do in order to help you reconnect with yourself. And then as you heal and open yourself up, become more emotionally open and available, dropping your guard here, that's when you're able to start going after what you want with a sense of confidence that you're not drawing in more wounded energy because you're not acting from a wounded place anymore. And then I get the Empress showing up here in your hopes or fears. This is about you wanting to be balanced and grounded, being able to prioritize what really is meaningful to you. This is the work that you're doing. And I am getting progress. So at the end of the reading, the potential outcome here, Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is forward momentum. And so what's happening here is you're working through the wound and then something shifts and change and you're able to go after what you want without the influence of the past. You're liberated by the time you hit this Eight of Wands energy. There's nothing holding you back here. So let's get some more information. So tell me about the Nine of Wands with the Magician. Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is a conflict, competition. And right now there's a conflict between what you're healing from and the direction that you want to go. They feel like night and day, very different from each other. And so the resolving of the conflict is really you spending the time that you need to working through the wound so that you are able to focus your attention more on what you want to build and grow. So you're going through some sort of transformation or change at the moment. So let's get that Seven of Pentacles. Five of Cups. This is another card of change. And so the Five of Cups is a shift in your perspective. So instead of focusing on the sadness, the disappointment, the loss, the Three of Cups that are spilled over, you're more and more stepping into the Two of Cups that are standing. It's not like a light switch flipping. This is an evolution. And I feel like more and more you are stepping into that space, especially because the Magician is already showing up here. So it tells me that you're considering the future that you want to build. You're not so closed off that you're only focusing on the past here. You're focusing on the work that you need to do so that you can have that fresh new start and you can work towards a goal or a dream that you have. And the universe is really encouraging that too with what you need to focus on. Tell me about the Four of Pentacles. The Tower. The Tower is the breakthrough that you needed to see. So it's coming through as that. It's coming through as Uranus energy. So that kind of sudden, all of a sudden you just see everything that you need to see. You have the information that you need in order to continue the healing process and really open yourself up to growth. But I also feel like what it did here was showed you how to take everything back to basics. When you start from that basic level of this is truly what I need and I'm not willing to sacrifice any of this, now you understand what opportunities exist to grow. But again, you also see what's blocking any kind of growth because now you've taken it back to basics. And so you recognize kind of what's excess, but it's the wound and how it's blocking you. I don't feel like that's the only tower here. Now, it's going to be the only tower card in this deck, but I actually feel like between the Four of Cups here and the Eight of Wands, there's another tower moment that's going to take place. Let's get this High Priestess. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands, High Priestess, trusting yourself, acting from a place of emotional balance. This is going to be your strength in this situation. So the conflict here, everything that you're doing to resolve and work through the wound so that you're open to a new beginning, it's showing up here as when you're ready, you're going to take action. You're going to trust yourself along the way. And so with the Four of Cups here, I'm getting the Magician. So the Magician, again, manifesting what you want, but look at the mirroring energy here of this Magician card. And so it's the energy you put out, you get back. And so you're doing the work now so you can get the payoff later. And because the Magician is out here twice, I feel like you've got all of the skills that you need in order to heal the wound, release it, and then be able to move on and even grow what you want to grow. Tell me about the Six of Cups. Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands, it's a protective energy, because I'm getting the self-defense side of the Seven of Wands. And so what the universe is saying here is that you do need to be a little bit closed off while you're going through the healing process. But I feel like that's kind of just natural, that everybody feels that way, that you can only be so emotionally vulnerable at a time. And so until you can kind of gain the insight, the clarity, until you find your emotional balance, you are going to be a little bit closed off here. And even with that, when you find your emotional balance, you're going to protect it. You're going to hold on to everything that you have. It's why the Four of Pentacles was showing up here in the past. This is your foundation. These are your boundaries. Hold to them. And so with the Knight of Cups, I'm getting the Six of Wands, success and victory. I don't know why I can't speak in your reading. And so here, it's all the work that you're doing is going to open you up to what you want. You're going to be able to pursue it. There's a lot of success around it. But what I love here is the harmony, the balance that comes through with the number 6. So where I've got 2 5s showing up here, this is closing out the period of change and transformation, allowing for growth. And so with the Empress, I'm getting the Moon. And so the Moon, it's all about your emotions here. So I'm getting a lot of emotional balance, wanting emotional balance, but I'm also picking up trusting your intuition here with the High Priestess energy and the Moon. Reconnecting with yourself. It's almost a younger version of you was more trusting in yourself, that internal knowing, this is the action, this is the decision, everything here, this is the person's true motives and intentions. Somewhere over time, there was a disconnect between the two, and you stopped listening to that inner guidance. Now it feels like you want to reconnect with it, and I feel like you're taking the right steps to reconnect with it. So let's get that Eight of Wands. Lovers, Gemini energy, could be about a relationship, could just be about choice, but you're ready to go after what you want and you're choosing from the heart, and you're able to, because you don't have this wound blocking your emotions anymore. So I do love to see that. So Leo, we're going to take this into the extended, and we're going to get any hidden messages here, as well as messages from your higher self or your spirit guides, advice to stay on track with all of this, and then how it's going to play out over the next month. So if you're interested, link is below, or you can join me over on YouTube and click that little join button where you get early access to this and the extended, all ad-free, as well as other member exclusives. I will see you soon. Take care.